Hello and welcome to Mike's Garage. If you've already subscribed to our YouTube channel, thank you. If you haven't, please do. And when you do, please click on the little notification bell. And if you push the little like button, we like that too. Thank you. We've got work to do today. My buddy Jim and I, Jim's already been introduced. We're working on his 97 Fat Boy.
Hey, everybody.
I'm sorry. Anyway, we're disassembling it. We're getting ready to put a new Dave Mackey top end on it. And right now, I think we don't have a lot left to do in this teardown, but we're going to get to it. Right now, I have one cylinder head to pull, and I'd like to take the camchest apart today. So I think we'll get to it right about now. And we've already removed the front cylinder head, and I put these big tools on here to hold the cylinder down in case I need to turn the motor over. I have, however, rotated the motor to the point where the piston is down in this cylinder. And there we go. Let's get the other ones. There's 4 of these big, deep nuts on here. There's 3 of them. And that's 4 of them. They're 12 points. So using a 12-point socket and a long-handled ratchet, it's no big deal. So we'll just get this head off of here. These are the original heads, and they are 100% stock. I think we showed the, we'll show them again, but we did show the heads that we're going to use, and the intake ports are quite a bit different than those now, as are the exhaust ports. But we'll show that again when we put those heads on. Let me get the other 2 nuts off of there. Now they usually come out fairly easy. These threads are pretty well protected. I of course clean them before I put it all back together, but we'll go over that when we do our assembly. Our reassembly. Want to lift the head off, Jim?
Oh, awesome. Yeah.
It's your head. Jim is not a customer, he's a friend.
Thanks, Mike. And a customer.
Not anymore.
Not anymore.
Not anymore. I'm retired. You're out of luck there.
I know it.
We're doing this because we can. Okay, that should come right off.
Okay. Yeah.
Just want to pop it a little bit. Let me, there you go, you got it. Perfect.
There we go.
Perfect.
It's really a nice burn in there. I'm super happy with it. These are going to
Good.
be good.
Yeah, it
Good
was
for the next guy.
Oh, the motor was running just fine. We're not repairing it. We're making it happy. Okay. Must drop at least one thing. Now we'll put one of these on here. I'm missing one. So one will hold it. And there it is. Okay, now we're going to take the lifter blocks out. And when we get them out, then we can take the camchest apart. Now these are 12-point bolts, 1/4 inch. And they will come out nice and easy. We must have done a pretty good job here. Nothing has leaked in all these years.
Yeah.
Nothing.
No, and we got those, I think we did stainless steel.
Yeah,
Bolts
you
on
wanted
those
all
too.
stainless steel, polished,
Yeah.
fancy, gym kind of stuff. They're pretty.
Details.
Details. Details.
But you're right, they've been, if I've been really riding real hard and a lot of heat, they'll get a little sweaty, but I wash the motor off and it stays like that.
Yeah. Yeah, they're entitled to perspire a little
Yeah.
bit. They perspire.
Yeah.
Actually, this is a good old girl. I think we have to say she glows.
That's right.
There's 3, and there's 4. Now, if these weren't stainless steel bolts, I'd simply reach in there with a magnet and lift them out. But being that they're stainless, they don't do that. And I dropped it.
I guess I got to pin that one on myself.
What's that?
I said I've got to take responsibility for that.
Yes.
Going to stainless nuts.
We like people that take responsibility for things. There's the bolt. I don't believe it. You know, if everybody's watching, you're going to drop it. A magnet will not get it. Oh, I see. You got to give me a pair of pliers. And I'll take it out with my fingers. I got it. Thank you. And I think what we'll do is get this box here for the lifter blocks and the different parts. I put this in here nice and neat where the lifter blocks are going to go. Okay. That's one. And I don't remember if I glued these down or not. I may have. I may not. Since they never leaked, whatever I did worked. But you're going to be cleaning these with a toothbrush, I can tell.
Yeah, I'll clean them up probably later tonight.
Probably.
As I recall, we did Jim's lifters on there.
Yeah, I think we used lifters from Jim's machine. Okay, now, what we're going to do is take this wonderful little tool here, which I'm very fond of. This is a magnet. Magnets on both ends. All right. She's going to be rude. So we're going to have to crack these loose. That seemed to work. And we got the washer and the O-ring there. Okay, put this back in here. And there they're stuck. I don't see any glue on them at all. I must have used some nice heavy gaskets. Okay, now this one, same thing. We'll just tap it this time. And there it is. And we can reach in, push those lifters up with my fingers, and out comes the lifter block with the lifters. And they are beautiful. We'll inspect them all before we put them back in, but they do look Very nice. We can see that cam in there looks pretty happy. Okay, as long as we're here, I'd like to, and I stress this all the time with people, this is where the tappet screen goes. Quite often you'll still have the factory plug in there, and the factory plug is a slotted one, and you have to use what they call a drag link screwdriver, a drag link screwdriver. And that's the best thing for taking that one out. Okay, let's take the tappet screen out. First comes the spring, then comes the screen. Anytime I change oil in a motorcycle that uses one of these, I clean this tappet screen. This one is pretty clean, but that keeps debris from going into your hydraulic lifters. It goes in with the screen, the spring, and then the plug on top, which has an O-ring to seal in the case. We'll put that in there. We'll wipe my dirty hands. And now we'll take this part apart. Part apart. Now this is really nice and easy with the pipes already off. And I'm sure people are going to ask questions about this floorboard that has moved way forward. In case nobody noticed, Jim is a rather large man. And he designed what he wanted his mounts to do. And we had a friend that made them for us. How far are they moved forward, Jim?
They're moved forward 3.5 inches and then tilted up. So my ankle and knee were just normal, 90 degrees, very neutral and comfortable for long trips. So it worked out great. Stevie did an amazing job.
It's really funny, though. You would ride this bike, and you look great on it, and you're comfortable, everything is great. I take it for a ride, and
and you are too.
And I'm comfortable on it, too. It just never made sense to me, but boy, it works.
I was so uncomfortable with it when I bought it because the floorboards were just flat, and you just think of it as swinging back on a pendulum from where they are now, and it was just it just was so uncomfortable I couldn't bear it. So I was
you didn't look
happy
comfortable.
to do that.
You didn't look comfortable on it.
Not on a long ride, but now I can ride all day and all night in that position.
We did.
Yeah.
We did. Long rides. Okay. Now, I wiped all this off carefully because we don't want to drop anything into the motor here. Okay, now the next thing is we have to deal with the ignition here. I'm going to take my chair over here and sit down. In fact, before I do, I'm going to mark this. Jim, I know you put this ignition in yourself, this new one.
Yeah, my buddy Steve did. So.
Well, he didn't put a gasket on the cover. There was no gasket on the cover, and we will put one in there. And the reason I mention that is because it keeps moisture out of here.
Yeah, and that's a good thing.
Oh, yeah. So what we're going to do is we're going to mark this here with a line. And with that line marked in there very carefully, we can put it back in here in the same position.
Right.
I'm not saying the position is perfect. In fact, we're going to check it and see if it is.
But it's going to be close.
But it's going to be close.
Yeah.
It's a place to start. And it's just, I don't know, it's really a habit with me to do that. Anyway, let's see. Thought I had a bigger screwdriver here too. I can take one off the wall. Oh, here it is. Okay. We're going to have to pull the ignition out of here. Oh, you know what I forgot? In that top drawer, the one that's partway open there in the top, the bottom box. Okay, get me out of that big red thing in there. Get me a quarter drive 5/16 socket, if you would please. I knew I forgot something. I got all the tools out here and ready to go. Yeah, all I need is the socket. I've got the other tools here. Okay, now we can pull this out of here. Maybe. There it is. Got a 5/16.
I'm trying. Quarter, no. 30 seconds. You might have to save me.
There's a short one there, I know. I just need a 5/16 socket, about the middle of the row.
Yeah. 3/8. Yeah, so this got to be it.
Come on, I'm the one with the glasses
Yeah,
on.
you're the one with the glasses. Mine aren't good enough.
Okay, this is one size too large. Thank you. All right. And that's for taking the cup out of here. Okay. Thank you.
Yes, you're welcome.
All right. There it is. Okay, there is the cup. There is the bolt that holds it on the end of the cam. There is a little spot where it indexes on the cam to make your timing correct. Okay, now, all we need to do now is pull the cam cover off. And that's not too difficult. Crack them all loose. As I recall, there's 6 of them. 7 maybe? Yeah, there's 7. 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. 1, 2, 3.
I love using a speed wrench. It's so controllable.
I've had this one all my life. Literally, it was my dad's. I have used it since I was a little kid. Being a little kid at my house was a little different, you know, because the toys I started with were a little bit different than most kids had. Most kids were playing with little toy cars and trucks, and I was playing with carburetors and, you know, things like that.
Right.
I still have a carburetor that my dad gave me when I was a little kid. And I still love it. Something wrong with me, I'm sure. Okay, whenever you take this apart, it's a good idea to look at this and see if it's been leaking. Now, in our case, we're putting a brand new cam in. We're going to put in a brand new cam seal and all that. But when it's open is the time to look at it and say, wow, that's got a leak. Maybe I better fix that. You know, maybe you're just putting in a new ignition and everything is well, but it's all oily in here. And that's going to go into that ignition system, and you don't want that. Okay, and here is my little homemade puller I've demonstrated quite a few times, I think, on the YouTube channel. These
Yeah.
screws go in place of the posts. I made this to change a cam in my shovel head when my shovel head was almost new. Let's see, I think I want this one. I just put these in quite a ways. And that's quite a ways. You have to do this whole thing kind of carefully. You got to remember these are number 8, I think 832 screws. They're not very strong, but I don't use any sealant on that gasket either. So the cover should come off fairly easy. If it comes off real hard, you run the risk of breaking one of these screws off. And if you break one of these screws off, then you're going to have to figure out how you're going to get it out of that hole in there. Okay, now I try to set this nice and straight. Okay, then we go like that. And I can see in there where the screw goes right into the end of the cam. And there it is in the end of the cam. Excuse me. Let's see if I've got a wrench here for this.
You made that wrench, right? Or that
The
that
tool?
puller? Yeah.
Yeah, I made that about 40 years ago to put a cam in my almost new shovel head.
Yeah.
So that just comes off real nice and easy and straight. No muss, no fuss. No prying around the edges, ruining this cover. Okay, I just dropped, I could hear it, and I knew what it was. It's the shim off the end of the breather gear. So we'll just take that and put it in here with the other parts that are coming off in this operation. Well, let me leave it right here for a minute and I'll show where it goes. Okay. So the puller has done its job. It can go back in the big yellow cabinet full of neat stuff. And that's pretty much it. We're in. Let me take this off of here. Now what we don't want to do is scratch up this pretty cover. So we're going to set it aside, putting my thumb on the cam as I pull the cover off. There. All right, now put this cover, this rag down here. And there it is. This is where the breather shim goes onto the breather. We will check that when we put it back together. And wow, it's even in perfect timing right now. It's a top dead center. Okay, we can pull this cam right out of here. And set it right over here. Here is the cam shim and the thrust plate. While we're in here, we're going to put a new cam bearing in, which will be in one of our next videos. And we will check the end play on this breather shim. We will set the cam end play. And that's what we're going to do. But that's in a future video coming up. So for now, we're done with our teardown for today. In our next video, I think we'll take the cylinders off. So until then, see you out on the road.